Let's move on to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy, Wednesday, late afternoon, early evening, depending on actually when you see this, because I don't actually know, if I'm honest. I hope the day's treated you well, you've looked after yourself, you've had a good day, whatever it is that you got up to. I hope it's treated you well. In this video, though, we are talking a little bit about, got some really intriguing news on Santiago Gimenez. As well as that, we do have some new reports on Samuel Iling-Junior, the Juventus England under-21 international. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say, though, if you're new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let me start with the Santiago Gimenez news, because I talked about him recently, because obviously he was at the game, the North London derby on Sunday, which agents and family members being at games, it's quite common now in football, because you're not tampering, you're not tapping up, but you're doing everything around it, if you know what I mean. Like you're perfectly okay and perfectly legal to do that. Well, he was at the game, which obviously that begs another question. Well, Calcio Mercato have come out with a bit of news and said that Santiago Gimenez is now expected to join a Premier League team this summer, with Tottenham competing for his signature. Feyenoord want to raise around €50 million by selling the striker ahead of the summer window. Just doing that's about £43 million. I'm just having a quick look. So look, with Santiago Gimenez, in terms of poaching and things like that, yeah, great. And the amount of times the ball flashes across the 6-yard box or it's cut back, he would get chances. Look, I think he would score goals. I'm not denying that. 43 million, okay? I want to try and remember that number for this conversation. For me, I think he will go to West Ham. That's my guess. I think West Ham is where he may end up. Unless Arne Slot wants him at Liverpool. But, actually, the amount of chances they create, he'd probably score about 1 million goals a year. But no, I think he'd probably end up somewhere like West Ham, personally. For Spurs, the more I've thought about it, the more I've come to a decision. When I was looking at the strikers that we've been linked to, we linked to Ivan Toney, Dominic Solanke, Santiago Gimenez, and there's probably so many more. But I was thinking about it. I thought 43 million, I reckon, for about 7 or 8, maybe even 10 million more, go and get yourself Dominic Solanke. I think he's going to be cheaper than Ivan Toney. This season, he's proven that he can score some goals. A lot of people kind of go, I want to see him do it another year, which I get, which means you're not interested in Santiago Gimenez, which that's just factual. You can't be interested in Santiago Gimenez, but not be interested in Dominic Solanke, with the prefaces of being, well, Dominic Solanke can't, I want to see him do another year in the Prem. But, Santiago Gimenez would be great. It doesn't really, that argument doesn't flow both ways. Ivan Toney, I do somewhat get. But again, this season, with the time missed that he's had, it's not been the sort of outcome in terms of goal scoring, things like that. People talk about Alexander Isak. People talk about Ollie Watkins. They're not leaving. They're staying at their clubs, hence why I'd never bother talking about them. They're staying at their clubs. So I think Solanke's the route. He's quite a physical striker in terms of he's about 6'2", quite athletic. Link-up play is solid. Can play with his back to goal. Can play in behind. It does make a little bit more sense for me. Plus, he's homegrown, which those things Spurs need to take into account with some of their moves. They need to be moving for homegrown players, and he is that. Let me just have a look at his record this season quickly. He's 26. He'll be 26 at the start of the season. He's got 21 goal contributions this season in the Prem. He scored 18 and 35, so he's averaging 1 every 2 games for a team that, doesn't create as many chances as we do, for a team who, it's a good point. I want to just double check whether they are literally mid-table, bang on mid-table. They are 10th. Technically, they could still get Europe, Bournemouth, because they're level on points with Chelsea. I know they've played 2 more games. Bournemouth played 2 more games than Chelsea, sorry. They're actually only 1.1 West Ham with a better goal difference. I'm just saying, Bournemouth might. You never know. They're ahead of Wolves, and people think Gary O'Neill was doing a great job. They're ahead of Brighton. They're ahead of Fulham. They're ahead of Palace. Bournemouth have had a bloody good season. there's no reason to say that maybe was it Areola or what his name is could be on for manager of the season. But look, I think that's where they go. I think Dominic Solanke would be my guy. That's just my general thought. I think Dominic Solanke would be my guy. Let me talk about Samuel Iling-Junior. Who came from Ekram Kanoy, said that Juventus have set a price tag of 15 to 17 million euros for winger Samuel Iling-Junior. Clubs from the Premier League and Serie A League are interested in the 20-year-old. So that's a good point. Let's now have a look at Iling-Junior. Iling-Junior, there he is. So, I mean, here we go. Player profile. This season, he's appeared 21 times. I mean, this isn't good viewing. I mean, hang on, really quickly. CAA Base Limited is his agency. Spurs do a lot of work with them. His summer of 2025 is when his contract expires. You hold that into account. He's played 21 times this season in the Serie A. He's played 2 times in the Italy Cup. He's played just over 650 minutes this season in 23 games. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists. Now, Juventus don't play, I'm going to be honest, Juventus don't play nice football. They play old school Italian football, quite negative with Allegri. Look, Werner has shown that, he can do it in the Prem. It may not be up to the scratch that some people want, but he can do it in the Prem. The deal would probably be cheaper for Iling-Junior, because this is where I'm looking at. Is it Timo Werner or is it Iling-Junior where you might go for that backup winger option? Homegrown, obviously ticking his box ahead of Werner, but I'm sorry, but for a guy who has played 668 minutes, I'm looking at it and going, we're not going to give you £15 million, maximum 10 million. And that's just the English tax. That's how I would look at it personally, because Juventus want to sell him. They want money they want to raise money. They want to sell this guy. I wouldn't be trying to help them if I do want him. And if I'm honest, I think Werner might be the play anyway over Iling-Junior. Not to say that Werner's completely the play. I'm just saying over those two, I think Werner will probably be the play. Because when you look at that and then look at Timo this season, which we better have a quick little look at so I can give you a bit of an idea. 13 games this season, 2 goals, 5 assists. So, for a guy who's played 23 games to give you 3 goal contributions, this guy's played 13 games, again you 5. So like I said, it's not groundbreaking, but it's something. You kind of know what you're getting with Timo. So we'll have to wait and see. It's not exactly... I'll be nice. I don't think it's 2 wingers that I'm, crazy about, And obviously with his injury now, Timo, we have to make a decision on his release clause. I think there's going to be multiple reports about that today, so I'm not going to bother. I'll be ahead of the game. But we're going to be wanting to look at his release clause and thinking, are we going to do it? So we shall see. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about Santiago Gimenez and him being expected to move to the Premier League this season. If it's not Spurs, who do you think it's going to be? Obviously, your thoughts on Samuel Iling-Junior and Timo Werner, which one you would rather out of the 2 of them. You have to pick one of them. That's the rules, all right? Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, then the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.